Hi, Maddie. How are you on this lovely Thursday evening? Look, I even remembered what day it was. Wow. Yeah, last time we we did islands and beat Blaine. Next stop up on the docket, more islands. Yeah, I actually did intend to start the stream earlier, but right at like 6:55, I got the sudden aggressive urge to eat a peanut butter bagel, so I made myself a bagel first. It was a good bagel. Okay. Today, I would like to do some Pokemon hunting. And then maybe take on Giovanni. I'll see how we feel. I need to level everybody up before Giovanni anyway. Let's go ahead and do this sea route, because we actually came to Cinnabar from Kanto. Duh. We actually came to Cinnabar from Pallet Town before. I look at the sea to forget all the bad things that happened. Tony. Woke up at 11 today, got ready and helped my grandma shop and put away groceries. Picked up an order of groceries with Mom, put those away. Felt done after that, so I've been chilling. Men would rather look at the sea than go to therapy, yeah. I really wanted to do some stuff today, but I admit I just ended up sleeping a lot. Again. Like, I must have slept really well because I woke up, like, after laying down, I woke up and I really thought it was going to be like 8 or 9 in the morning, and it was noon. And I really haven't done much besides eat and go back to bed. Ugh, traumatic. Sleepy mouse disease is incurable. I guess so. I'm looking at the sea to forget the bad thing that happened. I tried diving for Pokemon, but it was a no-go. Yeah, that's the other Generation 3 game, not this one. David. Oh, I gotta take Zinx out of the lead. Also, completely random thing, there are a bunch of Game Boy games I apologize for that noise in the background. I would really love to stream from the Switch, and they just aren't on NSO yet. Specifically, I'd really like to stream Game & Watch Gallery 2, specifically. Which is funny, because it's the cartridge for my Game Boy Color is sitting here on my desk. Because I was actually just playing it on my SP a little while ago. And it's... Game & Watch Gallery 3 is on the Game Boy Switch Online, but not 2. Hi, Whoopi. How are you doing today on this lovely Thursday evening? We just beat up Swimmer David. Zinx fought at him really hard. Help! Don't know what we saw in the Weewa trailer that indicates diving is back, but I hope it is. Oh, that'd be really awesome. I'd love to see it. Especially now that it's not latched down to an HM or anything. I'm okay eepy as fuck. Now I have reason to stay awake. Yay! It must be eepy day, because I have been super eepy also. Get off the screen, mouse cursor. One mouse per stream, and it ain't you, shorty. But yeah, no, like, I was just telling Maddie a minute ago, like, I have been so sleepy all day. I was sleepy, like... Well, basically, I've been sleepy, like... I had insomnia that 1 week, and ever since, I have just been the sleepiest little mouse. What's beyond the horizon? Trails beyond the horizon? Forza Horizon? Animal Crossing New Horizons? Horizon Zero Dawn? Which is it, Douglas? You know, it's actually weird how many games use the word horizon. And it's weird because unlike a lot of other stock video game words like legend and heroes and stuff like that, I feel like the use of the word horizon is like a newer thing. Also, does the game audio and my audio and everything sound okay? Pokemon Horizons Win? That's literally the name of the current anime in English. The one with Lika and everything. And Captain Pikachu. Nuh-uh. Oh, my bad. Audio sounds good. Hooray! Sorry, I turned into Banjo for a second there. See a couple islands over yonder. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. What are you doing? Get over here. Get over. Hey. Be more a sister game series to Legends. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Uh-oh. Hi, Dodd. Sorry, my kitten has this thing where she loves to step on things she ought not be stepping. I have a specific spot on my little work area here where she's not allowed, and whenever she wants my attention, she'll jump up there because I guess it works in getting my attention every time. Kitty time. I love swimming. How about you? You funky fuzzball. Swimmer Matthew? Who would name their kid Matthew? Just kidding, Matthews out there, I love you. What will she destroy next? Audiences are on the edge of their seat. Admission pays for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Not because of excitement, but there's a cat asleep on the chair and you're not gonna move them. Be somebody very uncreative and conservative leaning. No. Oh my gosh, that ass is so dangerous. Well, I guess pets do take after their owners. Well, I don't know. I don't think the word owner works. They're companions. They're humans. Sea King, Sea King. Sea King, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly, Ponyta, Vaporeon, Poliwrath, Butterfree. Belly Flop. I can beat even marine Pokemon at swimming. You Snugglebutt. I can't see my game screen because there's a cat in my face. Felly Blop. Whoa, thank you for the 10 stream streak. This is for Dot, of course. We know who the real star of the stream is. I'm looking after my brother. He just became a trainer. Sis and bro, Leah and Luke. Girl, that macchiato got me in a trance. Seeking, seeking. Dot, knock it off. She's... I am trying to video my game right now. She keeps rubbing up against the freaking mute button and muting the mic. But, look, I'm petting you, okay? I'm glad I could heal your crop, Swoopy. Oh my gosh, you kitty, you fuzzball. That's no way to treat my little brother. Do you have a younger brother? I hope you're teaching them all sorts of things. I kind of have a younger sibling. My big sis is strong and nice. I think she's awesome. Ahoy there! These waters are treacherous. Yeah, there you go, Dot. You're getting petted. Axel. I hope he doesn't think of himself as a nobody. My big sis is awesome too. Ooh, woo. Whoa. You know, I do wonder how long double battles were on the mind of, like, the Game Freak designers, but maybe they just couldn't implement it in, like, the original Game Boy games. Because there are a lot of trainers in Generation 2 that are, like, you know, like twin sisters or whatever, but they still challenge you to, like, a single battle. She no longer owns a highway. That happens to the best of us, really. Well, it was my way or the highway, and considering that I chose to do things my way, I had to sacrifice my highway, unfortunately. But it did go to a good home after it was recovered from being stolen. That's why you see those signs that say adopt a highway. Wait, is that a thing like all over the US, or did I just accidentally dox myself? It's up here too. Okay. See, I stopped petting her for 5 seconds and she's already reaching out the hand. Ooh, dangerous! Found a highway in a cardboard box on the side of the road. My legs, they're cramped up. Well, that's rough, buddy. Let's go ahead and switch Macchiato to the lead. I swim here with my friends. I'm tired. Swimmer Connie. Just like me, for real, for real. It's like, I don't know if you've watched the Dragon Quest 11 or Dragon Quest 12 trailer, Whoopi, but the game is ostensibly about, like, a dream world and stuff like that, and apparently the main character goes back and forth between, like, the dream world and reality, but he looks, like, so freaking tired and done with everything. Eyes are so bad I can't read roads. Have you considered getting new eyes? Leftovers. Sounds so cool. Check it out. Also, sounds like a gem. Well, we don't really know too much about it. They literally just showed, like, the first ever footage of it yesterday. I'm exhausted. It was announced, I think, in, like, 2019 or something. Swimming's great. Sunburns aren't. Swimmer Alice. Actually, Maddie, random curiosity, do you still wear glasses? Shocker. My boyfriend wanted to swim to Seafoam Islands. If I were to ride a Pokemon to the sea, I'd like a Lapras. Lapras is so big, I bet it would keep me dry on water. Lost them, so no. Oh, I love your ride. Can I have it if I win? No. No, he's mine. Anya. We'll have to get glasses when you start to drive. Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I knew that was something you needed to do at some point, but I know with your family, motivating them to do anything that doesn't affect them directly is like... It's like trying to pull teeth while simultaneously opening up a grilled cheese sandwich that's been sitting in the fridge for 2 days. We getting Maddie some cute classes? I hope so. Granted, Maddie's pretty good at being cute on their own, so... It won't stop anyone from paying for them. I mean, Maddie, if you ever get everything set up to where you can, you would absolutely blow it away doing some commissions. I mean, if nothing else, I'm sure that a handful of the people in my chat would love to have art from you. Oh, I lost. It's still a long way to go to Seafoam Islands. I want to go back to Fuchsia. Dang, too bad you don't have a Pokemon that can fly. Sucks to suck, later! Whose hand, though? Whose hand? Say what? Looks like she got you right after all. Don't worry, Vaporeon magically just showed up again in my inventory somehow. Maddie, please don't do that. I have a lot of, like, I'm not necessarily a person who gets, like, scared or creeped out by a lot of stuff, but, like, existential stuff like that really makes me uncomfortable. Shit, I gotta go put some stuff away. Hopping off the Pokemon. Thank you for the edit with tiny blushies. You know, I don't actually remember if there's an inventory limit in this game the way there is in, like, Gen 1 and Gen 2. I think the whole inventory limit thing is something that got cut off. Like, it stopped being a thing in Gen 4? Because I don't think there's an inventory limit for, like, your TMs or Pokeballs or anything, but I think there is for, like, your regular stuff. Use up that one max repel we found. But no, Maddie, like, I get so kind of fucked up in the head with existential stuff and all that, that I kid you not, when playing Animal Crossing, one of the, because you know with Captain, you know, you have the thing where, like, you can just construct items and give them to him, and, you know, he sends them away in the box and stuff like that, and you get points for the hotel. Water's shallow here. There are many people swimming. One time, one of the things was the folding ladder that, like, your character uses as a tool to, like, climb up ledges and stuff. And I kid you not, I took my folding ladder that I made, like, at the start of the game out of my inventory and, like, set it to the side, made the new folding ladders, because he wanted 3, and gave him the new ones I made. And I did all that specifically to make sure that I wouldn't end up giving away my original folding ladder from the start of the game. It's Barry. Feels like an offshoot of your sentimentality. I'm sure it is. Yeah, right you time. Right you now. 1v1 protect. What are we doing here, Barry? Also, be right back. Okay. He was going for the toxic leech seed stall strats, and he just forgot to bring toxic or leech seed. Nah, Barry just really be out here clicking buttons. Splash! I wish I could ride my Pokemon. I bet you're not tired. Nope, this is wonderful. I love to ride my Vaporeon every day. Barry, my goat. Why are you riding a Pokemon? Can't you swim? I just don't feel like doing that right now. Darren. Please, they replaced Darren and nobody noticed. Can you guys hear my fan? I put it a little closer to me because I am kind of like, not like burning up hot, but I'm just hot enough to where it's making me mildly uncomfortable. Let me push it back a little bit. Darren for a rude awakening. Ayo. I know you meant emphasis on the end. Can't hear it? Okay, good. It's not a very big fan. It's a little USB fan. But it's super handy. Man, I love click and try attack. Nothing can go wrong when you're click and try attack. That really sounds like I'm setting up for something, but no, I just love clicking Tri Attack. It's such a fun move. Oh, torpedoed! Riding a Pokemon sure looks fun. Yeah, change your tune now, didn't you, bitch? Seafoam's quite a quiet... Give me a moment, I'm having a dyslexia. Seafoam's a quiet getaway. I'm vacationing here. I know the problems with quiet and quite aren't me exclusive, because I see dozens of times in everything where people get those two words mixed up when they're spelling them. Swimmer, surely you would like to battle. Surely you would. Welcome back, Maddie. I certainly didn't have dyslexia and completely miss what I was saying while you were gone. Spicy hot take. Uh-oh. Okay, I guess I got back just in time to hear that. Oh boy. I think Whoopi knew. She knew the timing. Quit it! There's a huge cavern underneath this island. Strong trainers and water Pokemon are common sights in these parts. They say Misty of the Cerulean City Gym trains here. And don't worry, Whoopi, I will give you the hot take in a second. I'm just gonna yap about this thing while I'm actually thinking of it. Because, okay, NPCs like that maybe seem to be saying stuff randomly, but remember, we got the fame checker earlier. So whenever we learn something new about a trainer... it'll actually show up on the little thing, and there's like 6 ones for each person. Dang, we don't know shit about Koga. So you can actually fill out the fame checker by talking to all the NPCs and stuff. I love floating with the fishies here among the waves. Tiffany. I've always loved the name Tiffany. Youch! Wanna float with me? Yeah, let's float together. Well, I deliver this slightly spicy hot take. I have like 3 fighting each other in my head, so I'm deciding which one. Okay, my spicy hot take for this one, and I think I've mentioned this offhandedly here and there before, I think overall, PlayStation has kind of had the weakest run of controllers. I mean, I love the original pre-analog PS1 controller, like the one that's just basically a Super Nintendo controller with longer handles. I think that one's really good, and I can forgive the Gen 1 DualShock, you know, just slapping the 2 analog sticks in the middle of the existing PS1 controller, because that was really the first major dual analog controller that wasn't like a flight stick or something. But I think with the PlayStation 2, it needed some kind of change or improvement, and no making every button on the thing randomly pressure sensitive was not the change and improvement it needed. And while the boomerang thing for the like pre-launch PlayStation 3 was atrocious and probably would not have been comfortable, I don't think snapping back to just trying to shove 1,000 features in which basically a controller that was almost a decade old at that point was the right play. And the PlayStation 3 controller, like, I've had to open up one and fix it before, and that thing is so fucking fiddly. There are so many weird design decisions. Like the springs for the 2 analog triggers, if you take it apart, they just fall out. I lost one. I was like digging all over my damn kitchen floor trying to find it. Which I did. And there's like a foam block in the middle of it for some reason. And it's like they shoved way too much stuff in a controller shell made for games for 1994. And they should have just done something different. And, okay, I will say the DualShock 4 on the PS4 is a vast improvement over their previous controllers. It's probably my favorite PlayStation controller, and I love the D-pad. But that big touch-sensitive pad is almost completely wasted, and it's not the little light bar on the back, but it is actually the touchpad that sucks the battery down so fast in PlayStation controllers. And the PS5 controller, to me, has been a massive step down from the PS4 controller. It's so chunky, it's not anywhere near as comfortable. And, okay, so there's this issue I have with Xbox controllers called the B slope, where basically every Xbox controller from the 360 onward, the B button curves into the side of the controller instead of all 4 buttons being on a flat face. Because if you look at most Nintendo and PS1 through PS4 controllers, all 4 buttons are together on a flat face, where in Xbox, the B button curves into the side of the controller, which can be really uncomfortable for games that want you to press the B button a lot. Bayonetta and Devil May Cry 4 being pretty good examples. And they can get uncomfortable after a while in a way that the Nintendo or PlayStation controllers really won't. And with the PS5 controller, there's a damn B slope on the circle button. And that's not even getting into this whole weird issue PlayStation has always had, where, like, developers from different regions could not agree what the confirm and cancel buttons were, with the confirm button being circle in Japan and X being the cancel button, which, you know, matches how Nintendo's pretty much done most of their games since the Super NES. But it got... Weirdly enough, a bunch of Western games in the PS1 and PS2 era used X as confirm and triangle as cancel, and then a bunch of games started using X as confirm and circle as cancel, basically flipping the confirm and cancel buttons. But even then, not all games could agree on that. It's like, even the international versions of Final Fantasy VII, the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games, Xenosaga, like, all of those still had circle as confirm and X as cancel. And it even adds to, like, this weird thing because, like, in the middle of the PlayStation 1 generation, like, whatever developers or localization teams changed their mind for some reason, resulting in the fact that, like, Final Fantasy VII has circle confirm and X cancel, 8 has X confirm and triangle cancel, and 9 has X confirm and circle cancel, so no game out of the 3 main PS1 Final Fantasy games has the same confirm and cancel layout on the same console. Because Nintendo and Xbox have pretty much been consistent throughout all of their designs. As far as, like, the confirm and cancel placement and stuff. It's a big boulder, but a Pokemon may be able to push it aside. Let's use strength. Moving the boulder with my stone rhinoceros. Ice Heal. Revive. It's weird, it's spelled just like revive. Oh wait, I gotta go back and push that rock. Push that rock in the house tonight. You know, it's weird thinking about it, that dungeons kind of aren't that much of a thing in modern RPGs that much anymore. Unless they're like deliberately designed to be throwbacks or they're parts of legacy games. Then again, a lot of RPGs have like more open world or open world leaning kind of structures. You know, even if they're not totally open world, they could be like Star Ocean the Divine Force or something where it's like several open areas that kind of latch together. Like I said, Sonic Frontiers coined the term open zone, and I think that's probably the best way to describe it. And honestly, open zone in general might be one of my favorite structures, just because, like, you get the benefit of open world games, but you also get the feeling of going different places and exploring all kinds of different things, like, you know, more segmented linear games. Fight the duck. Eh. Let's all take a moment to be thankful that we don't have to hear the Gen 1 screech sound. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm still alive. I don't know why, but, like, for a second there, it was showing my, it wasn't showing anything for my connection to Twitch, so I'm like, ah. But no, okay, my internet's fine. We're okay. Haze! Nah. Wait, I just went around in a circle. A seal! Okay, Propel, don't get hit by any water moves. Okay, because if I remember correctly, like, you have to push all the boulders down so you can get to a certain something hiding at the bottom of this dungeon. What if Propel gets thirsty? I mean, all my Pokemon are drinks. They should be fine. Sign. Danger. Fast current. Who came down here and put that sign there? Ooh, ball. You know, I kind of like this blue on green with this background. Oh, that's right. Shelder is the other. No, that's right. Shelder's not in Seafoam Island in this version. I have to actually go fish up a Shelder. The dugong. The people love dugong. But I'm leaving. I forget you can actually just straight up encounter dugong in the wild. Ultra Ball, hell yeah. Boulders might change the flow of water. You know, it is funny, people accuse a lot of old games for being, like, obtuse with mechanics like that, when if you actually go and, like, read signs or talk to NPCs, a lot of games will just tell you that you can do things. The current is much too fast. Surf can't be used here. Meh. I like how Seal's always like, meh. I probably need to pop another repel. Why would you do that to my poor little Venusaur? Also, it really messes with me. They push Golduck and Psyduck's psychic powers so hard in so much of the Gen 1 like side material. But not only is Confusion the only psychic type move it learns in Gen 1, it can't even learn the psychic TM. Good. Sorry, Dot scratched her ear so hard that it knocked down everything on the table. My fan and microphone included. I'm fine. Dot's also fine, by the way. She just was, like, scratching and thumping really hard. You guys might have heard it on the mic a little bit. It's a big boulder. We love big boulders around here. And small ones, too. Gonna use that big Brian of mine. I shall now push one rock. One okay rock. Gotta scratch an itch. She was going in. Jumping down a hole. We did it. We stopped the freaking current from being so current. Well, that's blue. Yo! It's Articuno, one of the 3 legendary birds of Kanto. And honestly, I think Articuno is pretty cool. A big Golduck. I gotta say, one of the most underrated things about Articuno's design is it having, like, because it's got, like, the cool colors with the, you know, dark blue and light blue, and then the gray beak and claws and everything. So adding on the red eye, I think, is just so striking. Get kissed. Me with the homies. Balls time. I've been saving my balls for exactly this moment. Fuck. Mind Reader, I'm so sorry for everything you just found there. Kissing you again so you can fall asleep. It's nap time. Zinx is an expert at kissing the homies goodnight. How fucking dare you, first of all? Ah! Missed? You mean the prequel to Riven? Okay, go back to sleep. Do not ice me with your beam. I will say I do miss having something with false swipe, but I don't think anything is available right now besides Scyther and Farfetch'd. And I think they learned it at way too high of a level. Also, both of them would be weak to all three legendary birds anyway, so... Okay, Farfetch isn't really weak to Moltres, but... You know, I always get Mist and Haze confused. I'm pretty sure Haze reverts all stat changes and... Actually, what the hell does Mist do? It's one of those moves that's been around since Gen 1, and I have never used it, so it doesn't stick in my head. I'm gonna go see what Mist does. It's the second gym leader. Oh, okay, that's right. Thank you. We all know Maddie's a master of all Pokemon knowledge, so I should have just asked you instead. I shall know. Zinx, your job right now is to stand here, kiss the bird, and drink lemonade. Ball! Ah! Okay, Mist prevents any of your stats from being lowered for 5 turns. Oh, waffles. I have kissed the bird too many times. The bird got kissed, now it's shrouded in mist. If I have to soft reset, I'm gonna be a little pissed. I can find more on the ground later. It's okay to use your only one, McKay. It's not that serious. Who am I to say no to a PP in need? Ah! Come on. Go fast. So your moveset is Ice Beam, Mist, Agility, and... I'm sure you've used the other move at least once. Mind Reader, yeah, that's right. You know, Mind Reader with no moves that have any accuracy problems is kind of funny. We got it! Hell yeah! Finally! Oh my gosh. One of the legendary bird Pokémon. With its long tail trailing behind, its flying form is magnificent. 5'7" and 122 pounds. Damn, girl, I'm jealous. Articuno just practices tarot in their free time. Oh, that makes sense. So I'll take a moment to take a nice big sippy of your favorite sugar-free, caffeine-free beverage of choice. I got my new water tumbler right here. Oh yeah, Whoopi, I don't think you were here when I mentioned it, but I actually went out and bought myself a new water tumbler. I've been using water specifically after eating a mint. Twitch, how dare you not tell me Mikhail was streaming? Hi, Rain. How are you doing on this lovely Thursday evening? Don't worry, Twitch doesn't tell anybody about anyone's streams, but we just caught Articuno. But I'm sure it was my hydrate that actually summoned you. Bunny Ice Boy. Trying to think of a good name for them. Cold Brew? Oh, that's a good one. I was almost gonna go with Berry Blast from the new, like, what the fuck ever drinks they've added at McDonald's. I don't know, I just see the advertisement for them every time I go over there, on, like, for lunch or whatever. I like digging. We have successfully captured Articuno, so now our next target is a Shelder. But our pre-next target before that is going to a Pokemon Center to heal our babies. But yeah, they have like Sprite Berry Blast and something else, but they also have one called like a Dirty Dr. Pepper. And every time I see it, I have this running joke that is not funny to anyone but me, and I just say it to myself, but like every time I see the sign, I like get a progressively worse description, like dirty Dr. Pepper, fucking filthy Dr. Pepper, absolutely abhorrent Dr. Pepper, an affront to the gods Dr. Pepper. In other news, I've been addicted to Serpent's Gaze. Is that a tea, or is it an indie roguelike with card-based battles? Drink a Dr. Pepper that's an affront to the gods. Only if they have it in sugar-free. Though apparently the dirty Dr. Peppers are just like regular Dr. Pepper from the fountain, just with vanilla syrup and like fucking cold foam or something on top. It's an indie roguelike, but also a Souls-like. So it's a like-like. Be careful with your shield. Okay, I think I can fish up Shoulders and Cinnabar. Big old yucky Dr. Pepper. Nasty-ass fucking Dr. Pepper. Perversion of nature, Dr. Pepper. Don't stand there proudly like a lion on Pride Rock when literally 5 minutes ago you scratched your ass so hard it knocked everything on the desk over. Threw the Steam page at Drake and he just bought it for both of us instantly. You know, I have yet to really gel with a Souls-like. Granted, I haven't put a lot of effort into playing a lot of them yet. I've mostly played, like, maybe about an hour of the first Dark Souls, because I actually found an Xbox 360 copy at a thrift store for $3. Maybe, like, 3 or so years ago. And I've mostly just put it in both my 360 and my Xbox One to make sure it played okay. I currently have triple the hours he has in the game. So you get me play a Souls-like, make it a roguelike. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike them, I just don't have much experience with them. I'm gonna look it up right now. What was the name? Because I can't just scroll upward in chat slightly. Serpent's Gaze. All those gay serpents. Because this is what I do. I'm such a professional, I just go look up shit in the middle of my stream. Because I won't remember afterward. Nothing will escape the serpent's gaze. Punishing 1 to 4 player co-op third-person action game where you fight tough enemies and relentless bosses while uncovering the secrets of an ancient dessert. Delicious. Oh, it's actually like a full 3D action game. I figured it would be 2D. Early access 3D Souls-like for $15 ain't bad at all. I'm gonna wishlist it just so I don't forget that it exists. I don't, you know, I vote we make excapate a word. I like it. I wonder how many real words come from typos. Also note with the area map, it actually added the 1, 2, and 3 island. Just kidding, those are actually Tetris blocks. Okay, let's fish up a shell. Wherever it smells. Okay, going to do something that is very difficult for me to cope with as somebody who's neurodivergent, but I'm going to switch the thing that's on my main registry, because I can switch it back later. Not even a nipple. When are we going to get Serpent's Gaze where you actually eat grass as a snake? It actually has some pretty large environments. They made the fans in my PC reach Mach 2. You know, I don't know if I've had anything set the fans in my PC off, because I feel like almost everything I've played on PC has been either like emulated or funny pixel game. Not on purpose, it's just that, like, I tend to want to buy my bigger games for, like, PS5 or Switch or whatever. That's not a shelter. I mean, it's good for your PC not to wear pants, in my experience. That's fair. I don't know why, but that reminded me of that random picture that somebody posted of their dog, just like they had a small dog, and it had just crawled inside their PC, which had a transparent shell, and it's just sitting there with this, like, big derpy smile on its face. There's the shell. There's Propel. Shit, I gotta make sure I go buy some more Ultra Balls. Got a new $3,000 gaming PC. Well, a lot of power behind that. What games are you gonna play? I'm gonna emulate Pokemon and Sonic games non-stop. I mean, I wouldn't emulate them if they would just put them on the fucking eShop. As shown by the fact that right now, I am playing this off the one I bought off the eShop. So, like, for example, if Pokemon Emerald or Heart Gold or Soul Silver or Black or White were on my Nintendo Switch or Switch 2, I would just give you money, Nintendo. Imagine that. Do not emulate our video games. Okay, so you're going to sell them to us? No. Do we have a boba yet? I don't think so, but I'll go check. Things are going well. Fuck. You know, I think I may have misunderestimated the power of my Jinx. You see, I was kind of thinking that was going to leave it in the red or something. Misunderestimate is a new one. Not exactly. I got that from SNK versus Capcom, the Card Fighters DS, which is a very awkwardly translated game, and my brain just latched on to misunderestimate and has never let go. Okay, we've got Americano, Pepsi, Barks, Water, chamomile, green tea, yoo-hoo, limeade, ching, Chardonnay, Shasta, Arizona, Welch's, can of Coke, Orangina, okay, we do have boba tea as our polywag. Got Earl Grey, Sleepy Time, Kocha, Scotch, Boosto, Dasani, Powerade, Karma, Eggnog, Juicy J, Old House, Hawaiian Punch, Slim Fast, Mr. Pibb, Werner, Cheerwine, Snapple, Barley Tea, Pulp, and Moonshine. We also have Coors, A&W, Ramune, Coffee, and Wild Cherry. Oh, and of course, 7th Up our seal. Okay, wait. Do not fuck. Tapioca. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Okay, I guess Zinx, you can go here for a little while too if you want. Chamomile and hibiscus are on the table. I thought I had a chamomile. That feels like the first one I would have done. That's like the most obvious tea, which may be why I didn't do it. Yeah, chamomile's my Zubat. I hope they're just in a cute cup and not straight up liquid. Wasn't paying enough attention. It's okay. I mention tea and your brain just like flies off. To a yummy sippy drink induced haze. Okay, 7th Up, you're gonna be my shoulder catcher. You know, I gotta say, one of the biggest things I miss going back to older Pokemon games from the new ones is with basically all the games from Legends Arceus onward, you can just go into the Pokemon's main menu status, and just like if you want some of their older moves, you just switch them out. It's no big deal, no problem. It's like literally as easy as just paging through the menus. And I remember when I was younger, me and my friend so much wanted we wish we could just have Pokemon basically have 4 moves equipped at a time, and they could just go back through their other ones whenever they wanted to. So the fact that they actually did that in the games is something I love. Now that summer's starting to rear its ugly head, I need to make myself tea lemonade. If we catch a Ditto, we can name him Gumbo. Balls time! Let's go, Shellder! It is enclosed in a shell that's harder than diamond. Inside, however, it's surprisingly tender. Oh, that reminds me of somebody I know. Tapioca, who could that be? I wonder. mean, honestly, it could be anyone in our circle. I know, that's part of the reason I was so big. Yo, I got 67 in the Pokedex. Let's go. Alrighty, I'll be back in just a sec. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. So I'm gonna put on some music, run some ads, and we'll be right back. Hee-hoo, funny number. The mouse returns. Hey cuties, did you all get up and stretch and hydrate and stuff while I was gone? I hear a familiar squeak in my walls. It's true. I'm out here squeaking it up just for you. I made a little heart with my hands. And, for sure. Meh. Alright, let's go to Fuchsia. Like I said, I'm in the mood for some Pokemon catching today, so we're going on a safari. Not a surfing safari, we already did that. We'll let 7th Up hang out in the party for a little while, why not? I just love a lot of Ice-type Pokemon, what can I say? Heads up for 7th Up! Yeah. I know, like I've mentioned before, I have a really kind of, like, happy little attachment to Seal, just because of, like I said, the first Pokemon anythings I ever owned, aside from the games, were, when KFC had, the 4 promotional stuffed animals you could buy. And, you know, you'd expect, oh, it was just Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and Pikachu, right? No, it was Seal, Zubat, Vulpix, and Dratini. And I've always loved that they were, well, I mean, I didn't really think of them as unorthodox picks at the time. But, you know, now I appreciate so much how wonderfully unorthodox they were. Wahoo! A nougat, hell yeah. I love cheap candy bars. I think I know the area I want to go to, so I'm probably going to have to surf back down through here. Also, I've mentioned before my silver playthrough I did on my 3DS, and like, because you know I mentioned I had a I tried to do an unorthodox team of stuff that I wasn't really familiar with, and I ended up using like Weepin' Bell, Nidoqueen, Stantler, Hypno. I need to go back and finish it because I don't think I ever beat Red on that save, but Fearow, which okay, yeah, I use Fearow a lot, but I like Fearow. My brain's kind of blanking on the rest of the team right now, but no, the thing is, like, that was actually the first time I'd ever used any of the Nidos in a playthrough. And that was Nidoqueen. I don't think I've ever used Nidoking in anything, which is weird because it's available so early in Red, Blue, and Yellow. Alright, Kangaskhan time! Damn it. Double damn it. Why would you do that to me? I will say, with the segmented D-pad on the Switch Joy-Cons does make it really easy to pivot in place without actually using a step. What are my steps looking like? 373. That's a pretty good number. Can Kanga be wine? Sure, it can be a wine mom. Okay, don't want to hang out with me, I guess. It's Ace Attorney Parasect. Oh shit, that reminds me, I got a new Paraspector video I need to watch on Cerulean City. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Paraspector on YouTube. Absolutely recommended. He originally was doing like Pokemon trading card game challenges from the Game Boy Pokemon trading card game, but lately he's been doing retrospectives on the early TCG and like the card releases, and he's also been doing like a thing where he like examines like the history and stuff of like the cities in Kanto and how they're presented in the different games. Of course, he focuses on a lot of like old school Pokemon like Gen 1 and 2 and stuff, but the videos are really nice and really comfy. He also does a lot of content on James Bond, which I know seems like an odd mix, but that's where Paraspector name comes from. It comes from Parasect and then the James Bond movie Spectre. Might outshine Kanga by being too good of a mom. No. Egg. You know, unironically, I wonder if some people randomly not showing up as much for my streams has been because Twitch has been not notifying people anymore. Because, like, when anyone else streams right now, I don't ever get a Twitch notification pushed to my phone or anything. The only notification I get is my email. Which, I mean, hey, I guess that means it's a good thing that I always post it on Blue Sky and stuff. Go kill the heads of Twitch. Okay, but, like, replace them with somebody else. If you just kill the guys, then there's no more Twitch. I mean, I guess for legal reasons, this is a joke. I mean, I guess I could stream on YouTube? I mean, that would make it a lot easier to archive my streams. Okay, so, like, you guys have seen the intro for Pokemon like Red and Blue and stuff. Do you think that Pokemon from behind was always meant to be a Gengar, or do you think they just retconned it into being a Gengar, like, in later games in the anime and stuff? Also, shout out to the guy who's on the TV fighting the Gengar in, like, that very first anime episode, who sends out an Onix that's just in a normal Pokeball that happens to be green on top. And that's never addressed or seen again. Actually, one thing that always irritated me as a kid, I know they changed this later on, but in the first, like, several arcs of the Pokemon anime, almost every Pokeball anybody used was just a regular Pokeball. Because in the Johto seasons, I know that Ash, Brock, and Misty all got special Pokeballs from Kurt. So I think Brock got a heavy ball, and Ash and Misty both got I cannot think of it right now, but it's the one for fishing. And they actually kept it consistent because the special Pokeball Brock had... Lure Ball, thank you, Maddie. But the special Pokeball Brock had, he caught his Pineco in, if I recall correctly. I don't think it was a heavy ball now that I think about it. Scyther! But they actually kept it consistent. Whenever he sent out Pineco or Fortress, even into like the later arcs, it was always in the Pokeball he caught it in. Why everything run away from me so fast? Do you Pokemon not want to be my friend? Yay, Kangaskhan's my friend. The female raises its offspring in a pouch on its belly. It's skilled at attacking using Comet Punch. 7'3". Okay, Maddie, I like your wine idea, but I'm going to alter it slightly because this just occurred to me and I really liked it. The female implies a male, which is interesting. Big girl. Well, okay. When I was younger, like around when Gen 2 came out, I had a concept idea for a Pokemon in my head. Where, like, because, you know, Gen 2 is when they first introduced babies, you know, Pichu and Cleffa and all that. So the Kangaskhan baby being its own Pokemon called Kangas Kid. And then it would have, like, an alternate male evolution called Kangas King that would be, like, normal in fighting, and it would be a boxer. But it's weird, like, not only has Kangaskhan's kid never been a Pokemon, because women can't be strong. No, actually, because I had played Tekken 3 and there was a boxing kangaroo. Though I'm pretty sure that the boxing kangaroo in Tekken is actually female. Because it's been a long time since I've messed with anything Tekken. But I'm pretty sure that they have, like, a Joey in their pouch also. Look, I have the compendium of all human knowledge at my fingertips. I'm gonna go look it up. Yeah, okay, her name is Roger, and she does in fact have a Joey in her pouch. All the knowledge. Oh, hey, my Pokemon TCG Pocket Pulls are ready. I pushed my time back by 2 hours because the new expansion launched at 9 o'clock last night, and I could not have the self-control to wait till tomorrow morning to do my 10 pull. So let's open our TCG Pockets together. Everybody go check your phone if you haven't. Doing the new Paradox Drive. Let's see what we got. We got a Surskit, that's new. Area 0 Stadium card. A Girafarig. Rookidee. And I got Fluttermane EX. That's my first EX I've pulled from this set. Spellbinding Start. Also, I do actually go completely free to play on TCG Pocket. I have not spent a single penny on it. I've still managed to get at least one of every card from each set, though the share function and the ability to trade with people makes that a lot easier and more doable. It's like I got the little mission complete for getting the highlight card for the Fluttermane EX deck. I don't know. I haven't seen all of them yet, but what I've seen so far of the Paradox Pokemon cards, they all feel a little bit underwhelming to me, just in the way that, like, all of them just seem to have a special effect when you, like, start the game. But that's all they really do after that. Because I know, like, one of the first battles on Expert is against an Iron Bundle deck. And, like, Iron Bundle costs 3 energy and doesn't really do that much damage. Paris. Okay, we got the Kango. Let's get Scyther, Scyther, Scyther. Tauros should be in this part too, I think. We will catch our Tauros and be unstoppable in Gen 1 competitive. Please don't mention that this is Gen 3. Shh, shh, shh. Actually, let me double check Cerebi to make sure it's actually still in the same place, because I know, like, encounters and stuff have been moved around in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Meow, meow. So am I the only one who, when playing the Safari Zone sometimes, would just, like, accidentally have a couple, like, Executes or Nidoran that you've caught just because you were spamming A too fast? Okay, so Cerebi says it's in Safari Zone areas 2 and 3. So I think this is area 2. Checking to see if Scyther... Well, yeah, I know I ran into Scyther, but see if it's also in area 3. You know, it says it's area 1 and center, so we've run into Scythers here, so that means Tauros wouldn't be over here. So this must still be part of area 1, or the center part. No, I guess the center is the part where you enter. Oh, 293 steps. I really want to get a Scyther first, though, because I really like Scyther. Even though I feel like Scyther is not particularly strong until Generation 4. Well, Scizor, anyway. Or Scizor. But I think Scyther in Generation 1 has the issue that a lot of Generation 1 Pokemon have. Well, 2 of the issues compounded. The first being that, like, you know, most of its learn set is just normal type moves. And the second issue being, like, the TM list in Generation 1 largely seems to be made with, like, bipedal Pokemon in mind. Because judging from a lot of the early art, I feel like early Pokemon was more conceptualized as, like, kaiju battles. Just, you know, little kaijus you can keep in your pocket. A pocket monster, if you will. Gen 4 still gives Scyther workable stab moves, at least, right? Hi, 7th. How are you doing on this lovely Thursday evening? I wanted to show you we actually went to Seafoam Islands and caught a seal. Which I had to give a special name specifically for the #1 dugong enjoyer. While still keeping the drink theme. But yeah, how was Combo Breaker and everything? It looked like you had a ton of fun, at least what you posted on, like, Blue Sky and stuff. They should make a game about monsters you keep in your pocket. Right? They should call it, like, Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 2 for the Nintendo DS. Pouch freaks. That just sounds like something derogatory for people whose personas are kangaroos. Great, had a lot of fun. Hell yeah. A sec, I am taking a moment to plug in my phone. It's not low or anything, but this is like the one time of the day I'm not constantly using it, so it's the best time to charge it. That's what they get for choosing to be a marsupial. So, like, does anybody but me remember Marsupilami? It was like it was on the Disney Afternoon, but apparently it was originally from a comic that I think was from Belgium, but I'd have to double check that. But it was about a little spotted yellow and black marsupial. God damn it, I just fucking fulfilled my own prophecy. But it was about a little yellow and black marsupial. Well, it was yellow with black dots. And its tail was like absurdly long to the point of ridiculousness, and it went on lots of goofy adventures. But there is actually like a 2D platformer game that came out for like Switch and PS4 based on Marsupilami that apparently is like really good, actually. And it's getting a sequel. Was it Belgium? Now I have to look it up because it'll bug me. I can't be wrong about something on the internet. I'll never forgive myself. Okay, Belgian cartoonist Andre Franquin. I probably pronounced the name wrong, but yes, it is Belgian. Please give me Scyther. I desire to scythe. Okay, I'm gonna go to Area 3 or something and see if I can catch a Tauros. Because apparently Scyther does not want to hang out with me today. But also, yeah, like Seventh said, adding decent bug-type stab moves really helped out a lot in Gen 4. Win a free HM for finding the secret house. Yeah, I did that already. I'm that talented. Pokemon hide in tall grass. No way. Zigzag through grassy areas to flush them out. Or stand in place and spin. My personal headcanon for why that works, like, I know that it's from the game mechanics, it's just because it moves the encounters around whenever you move, even if you aren't actually physically moving. But my personal headcanon is the Pokemon see you just, like, walking around in the grass and like, what is that person doing? I gotta go look at him. Guys, I'm not, like, cutting out really bad or anything, am I? I keep saying that, like, my connection to Twitch is kind of weak. Like, it keeps going up and down, so I just don't want the stream to cut out. I was having problems with my internet a couple days ago. After not having any problems for a really long time, so I guess I'm maybe a little too paranoid. You good? Okay. Okay. If everybody says I'm fine, then I'm not going to worry about it. I will just continue poking the mons. Also, they recently announced physicals for Silk Song and a new physical print run for Hollow Knight 1. Because Hollow Knight's going to get a PS5 physical for the first time, and it's going to get a Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 combo cartridge. That, like, it's one of those where, like, you can put it in the Switch 1, and if you put it in a Switch 2, it'll give you the Switch 2 version. Because they're also doing the physical for Silk Song is the same way, where like it's a Switch 1 and 2 combo cartridge. It's getting a PS5 physical, and it's also getting a physical that works on both Xbox One and Series X. Which I do always appreciate when a game still gets like a last-gen version. If it can run on older hardware, you might as well, kind of thing. Because one thing that I always found really weird was, hi Cole, how are you doing today on this lovely Thursday evening? We're in the Safari Zone. We actually went to Seafoam Islands and caught Articuno, so now we're Pokemon hunting in the Safari. Fuck. But, yeah, it's like, okay, totally random, but like, I don't know if you guys have heard of the game Rhapsody: A Musical Adventure. It's from NIS. A lot of the same team that worked on the original Disgaea games worked on it. It originally came out for PlayStation 1, and it got a remaster for Switch and PC. And it also had 2 sequel games for PS1 and PS2 that came out in Japan but nowhere else, and they actually got localized and released as Rhapsody Moral Kingdom Chronicles like internationally, and it came out for Switch and PS5, and I always thought it was really weird that there was no like PS4 version. It came out for PC also, I believe, but I always thought it was really weird that there was no PS4 version, because like this is a PS1 game and a PS2 game. I'm pretty sure the PlayStation 4 could handle it. And it's even weirder because this came out in like 2022 or 23 or something, which like it was way more common for just everything to still come out on PS4 back then. Doing tired. How are you guys? I'm also, I don't know if it's even tired. Like spiritually, I don't feel tired. I just feel sleepy. Like if I go to my bed and shut my eyes, I will fall asleep. Which is weird because, like, as I mentioned before, you know, the previous week or two ago, I had killer insomnia. So, as I have jokingly said before, I went from being the mouse incapable of sleeping to the world's eepiest mouse within the course of a week. Which, like, honestly, it's refreshing to just be able to go to sleep. Currently in my insomnia era. I'm sorry, Rain. I'll try to send some of this sleep your way. Venomoth! Okay, I already have a Venonat. I need to behave myself. Sleep is a coin flip, I swear. Yeah, you flip a coin between phases every turn to see if you wake up. We've been over this. Though if your opponent has a Darkrai on the bench, just give it up. Don't give it up. Here's how the story goes. The grand line. Fuck, I forgot the lyrics. The pirate whose eyes on it, he'll sing. I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king. Shout out to the original singers of that song for coming back a couple years ago and doing an extended version that includes characters from later arcs. I will say, though, it's probably mostly just nostalgia, but I do have a little bit of an unironic love for the 4Kids dub of One Piece. Even though, back when I watched it, even then, I knew it was censored because I had been reading One Piece in the American Shonen Jump before I ever saw the anime. I did at least take a nap earlier today after getting back from my morning shift. That's good. I'm glad you at least got some naps. Currently on a 15 stream streak. Wow, thank you so much, Cole. Hinshin, where are my clothes? No idea. Not complaining, though. think I've ever seen the 4Kids dub of One Piece. I recommend at least checking it out if you're a fan of the series, which I'm pretty sure you are. Just to see, like, it's interesting because it's pretty uncommon for an anime to get 2 different English dubs. Not unheard of, but, you know, like, 2 different English dubs for the same market, I guess I should say. I will say I actually like their voice actor they cast for Zoro in the 4Kids version. Oh, I'm sorry, Zolo. That they cast in the 4Kids version. I feel like he's a better casting choice for Zoro than Chris Sabat. I mean, I love Chris Sabat to death. He just wouldn't have been my first choice for Zoro. Couple clips in Zoro's VA goes all in. Like I said, the most famous scene is the one where, like, I don't even remember the name of the town because it's been so long since I watched the episode, but, you know, Luffy is all, like, filled up and bubbly, and he's like, Zoro, why did you hurt all these people? And the fucking scream that his 4Kids VA, like, Luffy! But, like, he puts his entire fucking self into that scream. Because, I mean, it's counterbalanced between the fact that it gives us one of, in my, like I said, my personal opinion, like when I read One Piece, that's definitely the Zoro I hear in my head when I'm reading the dialogue. It's top tier, perfect, no notes, absolutely. But then it also gave us perpetually congested Sanji. Though here, I guess I'll give you guys a free hot take since it's not gaming related. Even though most 4Kids edits are stupid and detract from the material, I kind of think the lollipop idea fits Sanji better than a cigarette. Because to me, like, I don't particularly think a cigarette makes much sense for his character, but him always wanting to be tasting something, I feel like is definitely, like, it feels not only better for Sanji, but I feel like it also fits the tone of One Piece better. You know, having this big, tough, like, badass who can, like, you know, defeat an entire platoon of people by literally just kicking them. Because, I mean, you know, Sanji's cool. He's got, like, you know, he's usually dressed in all black. He's almost always got his hands in his pockets. You know, like, beating people's asses with his hands in his pockets. So, just him always having a lollipop, I feel like just works better for the character. And the thing is, no, that's not coming from me watching the 4Kids version first. I actually read it in the manga first. So my first exposure was him with the cigarette. It actually really threw me off watching the 4Kids version for the first time because it looks like the cigarette's unedited. And I'm like, what? They just left a cigarette in his mouth in a 4Kids edit? And then, like, he takes it out of his mouth and it has, like, the red, you know, like, lollipop end. There's the ball. It has, like, the red lollipop end on it. I'm like, oh, I get it. I see what they did there. You're not allowed to run. Okay, let's see if I can masterfully use this. Damn it. You whore! I fed you! Though in general, like, I feel like 4Kids, they did not have a very broad pool of voice actors, but I feel like the ones they did have, when directed well, were, like, top tier. Though it is a really funny thing of dissonance, because I'm so used to the 4Kids actors, you know, being in so much censored and edited anime, I picked up a DVD a long time ago of the anime adaptation of RG Veda, and like this is from the mid '90s, so this is before before Pokemon, before 4Kids really kind of made these actors their regular stable of actors. But it has a lot of 4Kids actor overlap, and it is so weird to hear all these familiar voices like cursing, threatening to kill each other, stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just like one of those weird dissonance things from growing up with so many 4Kids anime. Off topic, I just emailed Steam activation code from Email to Holloway. Let's fucking go. Kind of hated Safari Zone as a kid because I didn't want to throw a rock at Chansey. I don't ever really use the rocks. There was actually this really good video. Shit, I can't remember the person who did it. It was like Professor something. But they actually break down, like, the code behind the Safari Zone and the fact that, like, in certain situations, there are actual, like, optimal things besides just lob a ball. Because I think using bait on Chansey, is optimal because, like, technically bait's supposed to make it less likely to flee, but also decreases the catch chance. But the way that Chansey's catch chance is so low that the decrease rounds back up to where it would be anyway, so bait is just pure advantage on Chansey. Which I gotta remember that next time I come across one. Because I do want to pick up Mina, but I'm like... I don't know if I want to do it right away, if I want to wait until I've finished some more of the games I'm working on. I think it's bait, then 2 rocks for Chansey until you had a certain number of balls used. Well, whenever we come across another Chansey, we'll give it a try. Of course, there's also the fact that in Generation 1, you don't really have to mess with the Safari Zone at all. If you don't want to, if you just want to catch these Pokemon normally. Because I know everybody knows about it because of the famous Missigno glitch. But the little slot of land between Cinnabar and the route that goes to Seafoam will always have your most previous encounter table. So you can just surf up... Because, like, even if you don't want to do the Missigno glitch and mess with that noise, you can actually just go to the Safari Zone, fly directly from Fuchsia to Cinnabar, and surf up and down that strip of land, and just catch stuff like Chansey and Tauros and Scyther normally. Too much in my backlog. Picked up a new roguelike as well, not getting anything done. I love you, Venomoth. I mean, I've started looking at my backlog differently. I don't look at it as a checklist of things I need to finish, but rather that I have a vast library of things that I'm always waiting to experience. You know, like, I never have to be truly without. Because technically, like, if you want to start looking at things as a backlog, considering how quick, easy, and simple it is to just play games any way you can nowadays, especially because, like, dude, if you wanted to, you could get, like, the entire Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, GBA, and NES library on a 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabyte SD card and still have space left.